What up, though? You already know how it goes. Smash, like, subscribe, comment. I don't care what you comment as long as you comment. You dig? Shout out to all my supporters. I'd be nothing without y'all. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I appreciate you. Them numbers going up. I was just at 15,500. Now I'm at like 16,100. Al Prophet interview out. That did a lot for me. Please go check that out. Al Prophet interview. Go put it in AL space PROFIT. That's American dope. That's gangster. I appreciate brother for having me on this platform. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about that. Definitely big love, big fav to you. Peace and blessings be upon you. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You dig? I want to tell y'all how I got shot the first time. Been shot quite a few times, but this the first time. A fragment of it broke off in my head. I got grazed. It was right here, right. So what was I about? Say 15. I think I was like 15. So I'm in a stolen car. We pick up some girls from Northern High School. I think I was going to Trumbull. I ain't sure. Anyway, we pick up these girls from Northern High School that we hang with. So we driving in a stolen Concorde or Intrepid. I forget which one it was. It's me, two girls, and a dude that we hang out with. I forget his name, but he was from 6 Mile. That's when 6 Mile, 12th Street, and 3rd Street was clicked up in Northern to go against the NEP. That's the North End Players, which is all rivals. You know, me personally, when I was staying on 3rd Street and I was throwing up the trays back to 51st to 3rd Street. That's what we was claiming. My main rivals was 12th Street guys. I never had problems with North End Players, even though they tried to get at me just because of who I hung with. But we sorted that out, and I told them I ain't got nothing to do with, this generational genocide that y'all got going on, because y'all never done nothing to me. But nevertheless, I stayed from over off on the North End. But anyway, we over there driving. He don't really know how to drive that well, and he's scary. So he panicked once he hear the windshield break. Right, you hear pow, boom, windshield break. Like what? Pow, boom. I'm like, oh man, what was? He pull off. He pull off. Tell me why he go like a half a block and drive straight into the tree. He wasn't even hit or nothing. All he had to do was keep going down. I believe it was Brush or John R. All he had to do was keep going. All he had to do was just keep going. He slams. Y'all know them Intrepids and them Concords. They got them acceleration problems, man. So anyway, he goes and ain't like turn from the straight lane going north and slide over into the left lane, hop a curve and hit a tree. I fly out the windshield. Hit the back of my head, had a real bad stinker, bad concussion. I get up. I see all white light. This lady who was a nurse, and she worked at a Henry Ford hospital, I'll never forget. She said, "Hey, you bleeding real bad." I try to pull my hat off my head, and it kind of stuck, and it hurt. As I'm pulling it, I noticed blood just get to rushing more and more. She said, keep pressure on it. I'm like, all right, bet. Other people was in the car. She wouldn't even help them for some reason. Later on that day, I found out the girl got hit too, and she passed away. And all this was over me and the guy who ordered this to happen. He no longer around or whatever, not due to me or nothing like that, just due to his karma and the things that he was doing. But anyway, I go to the hospital, get the staples in my head. I tell my mom I just had a car accident. That's it. I'm scared to tell her because I don't want her, going crazy or feeling some type of way. So, long story short, all this happened over the fact I called a guy I used to get work from, a pedophile. So one day I skipped school. I went to get some weed from his house for a girl. And I think it was my homeboy too. I think we was all about to smoke or something like that. At the time, I used to hit a little bit of weed or whatever. I hate it not, but anyway, I go over there. He got the two girls in there from the high school we picked up, that we used to pick up and hang out with. One was 15, I think one was 14. He got them in there on the bed, both, with the sheet over them. I don't know if they was naked up under there with their bras on, though. Whatever. And now, mind you, this guy like 30 years old. It's cool. So this girl that I used to go to middle school with, her sister had to be around 12 or 13 years old. So I go over there another day, and it's crazy. He just let us in or let me in to see this. He was like, "Hey, sit here real quick. So, here goes some bags. Here goes some money. There's something for you to smoke. Serve this real quick while I go make this run." So anyway, I sit down. Then I look over into where he had the bed at, and I look. It's the 12-year-old girl, 11, 12-year-old girl in there in lingerie. I'm not gonna say her name, but I say, we're gonna call her Brooke. I say, "Damn, Brooke, what you doing?" She, I'm like, y'all messing around? She say, "Yeah." I said, "How old is you?" In my head, I'm like, she had to just flunk a bunch of grades, because I swore when I was in 8th grade and I was behind the grade, she had to be in the 5th. So 2 years later, so she had to be like in the 7th grade or something 2 years later. And it messed me up. So I said to somebody that he was a pedophile. He asked me about it one day, confronted me. "You said I'm a pedophile?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You're a pedophile." "Oh, you look, why you say that?" "Because it's a 12-year-old girl in your bed." Now, 14, 15, these, I wouldn't do it. I'm not saying it's right. I would be mad if my daughter was 14, 15, messing with a 28, 30-year-old man, right? But it's even weirder. You got a 12-year-old in your bed. It's weird. I said it, and what? I'm on my tough stuff. Yeah, I said it, and what? He like, "What you want to do?" I take off my book bag, take off my coat. "What you want to do?" He walk away, say, "I got you, whatever." Couple weeks go by. That situation happened. I didn't know where it came from at first, but the streets are always gonna talk, because people want to brag about the hits they put out on people and this and that, right? They always want to talk about it. They pillow talk to women. Once the woman mad at you, she gonna go tell somebody else. You heard what Dre said. If you pillow talking to the women who are screwing you, they just gonna tell another when they through with you. The streets talk. So it eventually got back to me. What happened? My big homie Bebe G, he was heated about the situation. He really felt I was in the right for calling him what he was, bruh, pedophile. Didn't know he been to prison for it already twice. 2 CSCs, 113 and under. He got probation for it, violated as a sex offender. Failure to register as a sex offender, and then he had like multiple variables, a case or something like that, right? So he already did a total about 5 or 7 years for it. And I would have never expected it, because he was always fly, big old Cartiers with the diamonds in it. He had a Taurus on 24s at the time. He had a Caprice on 6s at the time. Used to spot on Hazelwood, used to be banging, used to be slamming, getting money, always looking good. Everybody loved him. All the older women wanted him because he had money. But I always wonder why I never really seen him with the women like that, and they always talk about him. He always was some young girls, and I used to think those was his children, because I heard he had about 20 kids. At the age of between 28 and 30, he had 20 kids. And I knew some of them. I knew about 4 or 5 of them. He had kids that was the same age, 3 kids that was the same age, but they all had different mothers. So he was doing his thing, right? But I used to think it was always his kids that he was with. Then I seen the girl one time, I'm like, nah, I know who her father is. Nah, her father came to parent-teacher conference. I know that. And that's what it was. Dude put a hit out on me because I called him a pedophile, and I kind of punked him. We gotta lie. God knew you always had a last laugh, Because if I look at all my enemies, except one, they all broke. They all suffering. And I go through things too. I ain't perfect, and my life ain't the most perfect in the world. But all my enemies seem to suffer right after they do something to me. All of them seem to suffer in some form or another. And you know what I found out was the best revenge? It wasn't this. It wasn't this. It wasn't this. It was the win. I only got 16,100 subscribers on YouTube, but I did it in 2.5, 3 months, right? And it's going and going and going. All them little rap guys that hate me, the local rappers, it's quite a few of them that hate me, right? And I'll tell y'all the story about that too, what it stemmed from the females to a death, to money, to some other things, right? I'm going to tell y'all what made that happen. Give y'all a little bit more in-depth look at my life. But they hate to see that Al Prophet interview. A guy, a rapper, wrote a comment on the picture I posted about the interview and about my channel and how it jumped from last week 15,500 to 16,100, 200, right? Then he erased it. Then he posted it again. I'm like, man, these guys are suckers, man. Playing these internet games. But in person, can't he look me in my face? Drake said something else that was phenomenal, right? He said, I love when you in a club and you run into your enemy, but you never worry because you know he's not who he pretends to be. I know a lot of these guys not who they pretend to be at all. The best revenge is success, and especially if you excelling in a genre that they want. They want those subs. They want those views. They want to be able to move their album. They want that monetization. So if you keep winning or whatever you do, it could be your former employer. He could have had an auto body shop. He fired you just because he wanted his son to work there. He fired you just because you was late one day. You know the best revenge of that? Go open up an auto body shop of your own right next door to his. Or right across the street to his, your former employer. You ain't got to go blow a spot up, talk bad about him on Facebook, give him bad reviews. You ain't got to do all that. It's too much energy in that without enough return besides personal satisfaction. Go open up your own shop and put the energy into that. Put that spiteful energy into that. Then something's going to come from that. Profit. The almighty dollar. Success. The ability to employ other people. The ability to say, hey, daughter, hey, son, you ain't got to go ask nobody for a job. I can do it. So put your energy in that way. I'm telling you, the best way to always get back is win. I remember guys used to hate me when I was selling drugs. On the come up. They wouldn't rock with me, sell me nothing. But once I started getting it, and then they wanted to mess with me, I'm straight. Or yeah, I mess with you, but I got complete control of everything. I control when you get it and when you don't. I'm going to make you totally dependent on me. Success is the best way to get back. You ain't got to worry about going to jail. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about looking over your shoulder. Get back like that. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't going to dwell and harp on the same thing. Once I get a point, I just want to beat it in y'all head just to try to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't the most positive person in the world. I still use my backhand sometimes. I still put these together sometimes, but I'm trying to move away from that, man. I've been in it all my life, so it's hard. From juvenile to prison, I've been doing this and this and that and this to the point that it damn near almost became normal for me to do it. But you don't want to live like that. You don't want to be like that. Do you. That's the best thing you could ever do. Alpo said that. Do you. I don't support no man to do this, and that, but I support a man doing you. I can respect that. Big 5, peace and blessings be to y'all. Make sure y'all check out them links below. Make sure y'all please go follow me on Instagram. Everybody who view this video, if you got an IG today, I want to see the most IGs. You know, I'm going to follow you back. I'm going to have Young Gil follow you back too, so y'all can follow his social media. So on and so forth. Oh, Hot Boy Jesse too. Probably just going to screenshot the follows and tell them go follow it back. Or you go follow them and they're going to follow you back too. Go there. Click the links. Go straight there. I'm going to follow you back. Everybody who view this, please put a thumbs up on it or you appeared in the algorithm or whatever. Help a brother out. Peace and blessings be upon y'all, man. Big